Okay?
Yon.
Okay, she is currently working as a marketing manager at Skin Station. Also, she finished Masters in Business Administration at Philippine Christian University. She is the current Vice President for Individual Development at Junior Chamber International ng Perlas Pasay and a member of a Toastmasters Internationals. She's also an advocate for personal growth. Please let us welcome Miss Christell Nogar. Palapakan natin kay Miss Christell Nogar.
Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much to our host for today, Christian and Asher. That's so far we're doing a good job, and of course, I'd like to greet our viewers sa ating Facebook page as we are streaming live now in Hands In Inclusion Pilipinas Facebook page. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at nakakita ako meron tayong mga viewers from Manila High School, Commonwealth High School, and from different parts of the Philippines. Magandang hapon po. At of course, gusto ko rin i-acknowledge ang ating mga sign language interpreters na tumutulong sa atin ngayong araw para iparating ang ating mga pinag-uusapan or ang ating mga mensahe sa ating mga deaf or hard of hearing viewers as well. Okay? So, to start with, just to set an expectation po sa ating lahat para dito sa ating talk for today. So, this will be a 30-minute talk. So, yung mga topics na i-discuss natin, we will identify what is leadership, the leadership styles, and the imperatives of leadership. Can you go back please to this? Ayan. Okay. And then the talk will be in English and Filipino language. And of course, our sign language interpreter here. Okay, so today I'll be discussing to you the very basics of leadership, or I call it Leadership 101. Okay, so I know all of us are very excited na. Can you, para dun sa ating mga viewers on our Facebook page, can you give me a thumbs up comment if you're ready to start with our training or with our talk for today? Okay, sige. Okay, so before we start, I have a quick question for everyone here. So in your opinion, in one word, so one word lang, what is leadership? Okay, so you can comment in our Facebook Live and I'll be reading your answers. Okay, in one word, what is leadership for you? So sige, I can start. In one word, I can think of leadership as mentorship. Okay, I saw Christian here. Sabi niya, guidance. Yes, guidance. What else? Meron pa ba? Okay. Sige. Okay, thank you so much, Christian, for that input. So, let's proceed na in identifying what is leadership. Can you, next slide, please. Okay, so leadership, let me read that for you. So, it's a set of skills, processes, behaviors, and capabilities that a person needs to motivate and direct others. Okay, so it's a skills and other processes na kailangan ng isang tao ng isang leader para ma-motivate niya yung ibang tao. Okay? Pero I have other definition of leadership. I just added one word. Okay? Meron tayong idadagdag na isang word in order to deepen the discussion for today. Okay? So, next slide please. So, I'd like to add effective in leadership. So, it will be effective leadership. So, ano naman yung effective leadership? Ano yung difference niya from the identification ng leadership kanina? Okay, next slide please. So, yung effective leadership, very short lang yung definition niya compared to leadership. It's a one phrase lang. So, effective leadership is the ability to help people grow in their own abilities. So, if you notice the differences between leadership definition kanina and then the effective leadership, ngayon, yung leadership kanina is about the leader. Okay? It's about the skills, the behaviors of the leader. Pero for the effective leadership, it's about helping other grow in their own abilities. And that's what I wanted to discuss for today. Okay. Huh? Okay, so also in effective leadership, it's because successful leaders are those who drives other to achieve their own success. Okay, para sa ating mga viewers, ineffective in being a leader, it's not just about you. It's no longer about you anymore. Okay? Wala na siyang I. It's not about I did this project. I successfully managed to finish this project. I achieved this goal. It's no longer about I. Can anyone from the comment section in our Facebook Live know if ano yung isang word na i-replace natin sa I? Okay. Sige. Sige. So if I know you're still thinking about it, it's a very difficult topic, but in to replace the I, kasi it's no longer about you, it's no longer about the leader itself, it's about we. Okay? So ibig sabihin ng we, in everything that we accomplish, we say we did this. Okay? We accomplished this project because we work as a team, and that's how leaders should think of. It's not about himself or herself anymore. Okay? Leadership is about letting others shine on their own. It's about giving them the spotlight that they need to. And great leaders are cheerleaders. Okay? So what does it mean? So cheerleaders meaning they coach, they mentor, and they give feedback to their members, to their team members. Okay? So that's how effective leadership works. Okay? Can we move to the next slide, please? So before we proceed, let's do a quick self-activity. So you can do it in your free time, or you can do it now as we go along. Okay? So the instruction is think of the leader you admire. Okay? So leader can be anyone. Okay? It can be your class president. If you're a student, it can be your immediate supervisor. If you're currently working na in a company, it can also be a leader in your organization. For example, the Hands In Inclusion Pilipinas. It can also be someone who is working in the Philippine government. So think of the leader you admire. Okay? So think of anyone. Okay, one lang. Okay, and then think of his or her qualities. So what does he or she have? Okay, and then think of his or her behaviors. So ano ba yung ginagawa niya? And then think about what does he or she say. Okay, so ano ba yung sinasabi niya? Okay, I'll give you an example based from my own experience. So I have this leader in mind. She is a leader in an organization where I belong to. So the qualities that she has, is she's very understanding. She's very patient. Okay, so she's very patient. She's a strong woman as well. She thinks of us first. She thinks of other first before thinking herself. Okay, so and also she stand and fight for what she believes in. So that's her qualities. And then what does she do? So she is leading us, all of the team members, by example. So she leads by example. Okay, and then what does she say? So she say, of course, motivational praises that you can do that. So even if hindi na kami naniniwala sa sarili namin, she's still there, and then she's saying na you can do that. I know because I believe in you. I believe in your strengths. I believe in your skills. So that's how that's how the leader that I admire. So your time. So think of it. So you can take a screenshot of this slide and then do it in your free time. And then think of the leader you admire. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so can you go back please to the last slide? Okay, so in connection with this, so once you fill out these tables, do a self reflection again. So what qualities do you have? Do you need to learn? And what do you need to improve when compared to the leader that you admire? So that's an activity that you can do in your own time. Okay? So next, please. Okay, next, leadership style. So now that we already define what is leadership, what is effective leadership, so let's discuss naman about leadership styles. So leadership styles, for the definition, it's a leader's methods, characteristics, and behaviors when directing, motivating, and managing their team. So the leadership style to determine is a determining factor in how leaders develop their strategy, implement plans, like paano ba gagawin yung mga plans, and how they respond to changes while still managing yung mga expectation ng stakeholders, and of course, still thinking about the well-being of the team. Okay, next slide, please. So I think you're asking me, bakit ba important to know our own leadership style? Okay, so bakit kailangan, di ba pwedeng sarili-sariling style na lang? Di ba pwedeng I can lead with my own style? Why do I need to have a leadership style? Okay? So, according to this, to determine the effect this has on those that you directly influence, and it helps you find leadership strengths and define which skills to develop. So if you know your leadership style, so since you know your leadership style, you know your leadership strengths, okay? So that's something that you can give your full potential to. And then if you know naman the weaknesses in your leadership, you know kung saan ka mag-i-improve. So that's why important to know your own leadership style. And a tip also, if you want to know one easy way to determine your leadership style is to ask for feedback. Okay, so ask for feedback to the persons around you, to the people around you. So ask them, how am I as a leader? In your own opinion, how do I solve problems? In your own opinion, how do I handle you as my members? And then in that way, you can determine slowly which leadership style you have. Okay? Now that we're already discussing about the leadership style, next slide please. There are 4 most common leadership styles and how to find yours. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so there are 4. Actually, transactional is not included na. But there are 4: transformational, delegative, authoritative, and participative. Okay, so let's discuss this one on each as we go along. So take note, just a reminder, aside from these 4 leadership styles, there are a lot of different leadership styles that you can take a look into after we have this webinar. Okay, so let's start with transformational leadership. Okay, so transformational leadership, if nasa isa kayong group situation where may nakita kayong someone who took control, okay, he or she communicate with the group and creates a shared vision, create a unity, develop bonds, creating energy, and instilling passion to everyone. That person is most likely to be considered as transformational leader. Okay? So this type of leadership, or this style of leadership, has emphasis on change and transformation. Okay? So yung mga leaders na nag-a-adapt to this style and strive sila to inspire their followers to achieve more than they ever thought possible by tapping into their individual potential. Okay? So for example, I am a team member, and then what I have in mind is, this is only what I can do. Ito lang yung kaya ko. But if I have a transformational leader beside me, she will top me, or she will push me to reach my full potential because they inspired their followers, or they inspired their members. That's how transformational leader works. Okay? And then there are three characteristics of a transformational leadership. So number one, focus on the future. So they are always looking ahead and thinking about what needs to be done in order to achieve yung goal ng isang organization na kung saan ka nakabilang. May it be in the company, may it be in a non-profit organization, same as Hands In Inclusion, may it be in your simple classroom. Okay? Because transformational leaders inspires their followers. Okay. Next characteristics is they focus on change. Okay. They are comfortable with change and understand that it is necessary for organizational success. So nag-work sila para masigurado na yung followers nila are also comfortable with change. Okay, and able to adapt to it. So according to John Maxwell, I know na naririnig natin to, change is inevitable. Okay, that's why transformational leaders can easily adapt to change, and they inspire their followers to also adapt to change. Okay, next, focus on people. The third and last characteristic of a transformational leadership. So they see the potential in each and every one of their followers. So they strive naman to develop yung members' individual strengths and abilities para ma-reach yung full potential nila as mentioned kanina. Okay, so that's how transformational leadership works. And let us proceed to the next style of leadership. Next slide, please. Next slide. The next style naman is the delegative delegative leadership. So ito naman yung type of leadership na let them do. Okay? So, ano yung sabihin ng let them do? Parang pabayaan, di ba? Or hands-off style. Okay? Ano ba yung antonym ng hands-off style? It's hands-on, di ba? So, for this one naman, hands-off style. So, yung style na to is the leader is giving his or her members freedom, okay, to utilize their creativity, resources, and experience to help them meet their goals. Okay? So, parang the leader is, okay, sige, do it. That you can do it on your own, okay, on your own style, on your own process, okay, as long as you achieve this goal. That's how delegative leadership works. So this is actually one of the least intrusive forms of leadership. Okay, so they don't micromanage or get too involved in the work of the member of the team member. Okay, so this style can be successful if the team members are competent. Okay, so if the team members are really do know what they're doing. Okay, so if they're really competent. But the something that we can look into this lang, the challenge kasi is it can lead to disagreements among team members, may split or divide a group. Okay, since we give them their own decisions, okay, on how they do a certain task. Okay, and then so there's a different approach in a team, in each team members. Okay, so that's something challenging in this style of leadership. Okay, and also for those who are new, okay, example in a company, fresh grad, okay, so no idea yet about the work, okay, about the processes, about the no experiences yet. Okay, so it's so hard to do a delegative leadership for the new hires, okay, or for the fresh grad, because so there's a possibility na hindi nila magawa because there's no guidance, there's no enough feedback from the leader who shows delegative leadership. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, next style of leadership is authoritative. This one naman is a visionary leader. So his or her approach is follow me approach. Okay? So yung mga leader na nag-a-adapt ng ganitong style consider themselves as mentors to their followers. Okay? So in this way, leaders chart a course and encourage those around them to follow. Okay? So follow me. So follow my direction. Okay? So parang that's the approach of this style of leadership. Okay? Okay, so this also provides guidance, feedback, and motivation to their team. So unlike yung kanina, yung delegative leadership, this one's quiet opposite of the delegative leadership. Okay, and then it relies heavily on getting to know each member of a team, because this style of leadership allows a leader to provide guidance and feedback on a more personalized level. Okay, so personalized based on the members' personality, based on the members' characteristics or work attitude. So it helps individuals to succeed. Okay. So the challenge lang here is leader must exercise caution not to micromanage. Okay. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, next slide, please. Yeah. Okay. And the fourth and last style of leadership is participative leadership, or this one naman is the what we call democratic leadership. Okay? So this one, it encourages leaders to listen to their employees and involve them in decision-making process. So I actually feel that this is my style of leadership now. So this one's naman is requires this type of leadership requires leaders to be inclusive, utilize good communication skills, and crucially be able to share power or responsibility. Okay. And then also spontaneous, open, and candid communication. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so finding your leadership style. Okay. So first, so since we mentioned that the four most common leadership styles, again, take note that there are different leadership styles that you can search on. Okay, you can search on Google leadership styles, and then there are a lot of styles that you can study or work on. There's autocratic leadership, there's servant leadership, there's transactional leadership, and so on and so forth. So you can search on that. So for the four items that I discussed, these are just the most common style of leadership. Okay, now let's find your leadership style. So in finding your leadership style, whether you're handling a small or a big team, it's still important to have a leadership style. Okay, so first, be clear about your goals and what you want to achieve. So once meron ka ng clear vision, it will be easier for you as a leader to communicate your ideas to your team and inspire them to follow your lead. Okay? Second, experiment. So again, maraming different leadership styles, diba? As I mentioned kanina. And the best way to find your own leadership style is to experiment. Okay, so hindi siya ibig sabihin na, 'di ba? I mentioned kanina, my style is participative leadership. It does not necessarily na you should be also applying a participative leadership. Okay, so it really depends. Okay, so the best way to find your own is to experiment with different styles or with different approaches and see ano ba yung best for you as a leader, and ano ba yung best style for your team. Okay, so you need also to consider your team, not just only yourself. Okay, and lastly, remember that leadership is not about being perfect. It's not about being a perfect leader, but it's about leading with authenticity. Okay, because when you lead from a place of passion and purpose, so others will naturally be drawn to you and to your message. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for the leadership style. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, next naman is the imperatives of effective leadership. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng imperatives? So imperative can be essential or a necessity. Okay? Ano ba yung necessity of being an effective leader? Okay, so may formula ba to becoming an effective leader? Okay, so etong apat na to, so every situation kasi can be systematically resolved. Okay, if yung leader, ina-apply niya itong apat na imperatives na ito. And that's what we will discuss in the next slides. Okay, so build trust, clarify purpose, align priorities, and of course, unleash the talent. Okay, so let's start with building trust. Next slide, please. Okay, so building trust. So the first step to help other grows in their own abilities is for them to trust you. Okay, you need to understand also ano yung nagda-drive sa members mo or sa people's sa mga persons ng desires nila, peers, needs, wants, and why they react the way they do. Okay? You need to show that you care and understand their or others' perspective. Okay? So, paano? Paano ba natin mabibuild yung trust? So, it can be as simple as listening to them. Okay? Not just listening but you need to understand what they're saying. Okay? So, listen to them not just in their problems. Kasi di ba we usually listen to other people if they have problems or if they have chismis, di ba? So, that's how we listen. So, not just in those. Okay? Listen also in their experiences in life. Okay? Listen and then you can also share back. Okay? You can if you can relate to their experiences, you can also share your own experiences. In that way, both of you can learn from each other's experiences, mistakes, successes, diba? So may it be personal or professional. That's the easiest way to build a trust of your team members or the other person. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay, next, clarify purpose. Okay, so anything can be achieved if there is a clear purpose. Okay, diba in an organization, there's always a goal. There's a vision and mission. Okay, so for example, in Hands In Inclusion Pilipinas, for this Tara Lead webinar, diba, the goal is to what? To empower the youth, to share more about leadership, diba? So that's the goal of this webinar. Okay, so a good leader is one that constantly reminds others of the common purpose. Okay, so if you're the leader, you should be reminding them of your goal, okay, of your common purpose in the organization. Okay, kasi there's a possibility na, example, sa una lang natin, in-identify yung purpose natin. Okay, sa una lang. And then along the way, nag-iba-iba yung purpose or nakalimutan na yung purpose. Yung mga team members nakalimutan na nila yung purpose. Okay? So as a leader, we need to constantly remind them of the common purpose. Okay? And then the purpose must be clear enough for everyone involved to understand. Okay? It must be clear. Okay? So if you remember yung acronym na SMART, if you remember that, that's yun yung characteristic of a goal. Okay? So it needs to be specific. Diba? Kung naalala nyo, tinuturo to sa class. Okay? Specific. Dapat specific yung goal. And then measurable. Okay? Dapat na measure yung goal natin. Hindi lang siya dapat, example for this webinar, kailangan may manood na ganito na mga audience. Okay? So if you have a goal, dapat at least 100 Facebook followers yung makanood. So that's how we measure. That's how we identify if the goal is measurable. Okay? And then attainable, relevant, and time-based. Okay? So that's how you do your goal or your purpose. Okay? Next, please. Next, aligning priorities. Okay? There should be no conflict between the measurement and progress and what is important. Okay? What is important is the team is working towards a clearly defined purpose and not whether you are succeeding or failing. Okay? So in the aligning priorities, okay, diba we have a goal, and then in order to achieve that goal, we have different activities. Okay? And then the leader should identify which are the priorities in order for us to achieve the goal. And the the leader and then the team member should be in the same line, okay, as the leader. Okay? Para maayos yung flow in order to achieve that purpose or that goal. Okay? Next, please. And lastly, unleashing the talent, okay, or unleashing the full potential of the member. Okay, so empower people by utilizing their capacity. Understand that you can only succeed by relying on the talents of people around you. So understand that it's not just about you as a leader, it's not about your talent or skill as a leader, because your team members also have their own talents, okay, or their own skills. Okay, so allow members to take ownership, so give them a chance, okay, and help them grow in confidence and abilities. Don't make your team members your shadow. Okay, so allow them to shine, allow them to be on the spotlight. Okay, that's how you unleash the talent of your team members. Okay. Uh-huh. Next, please. Okay, so just to share you a statistic from Zipia. Okay, so according to Zipia, 10% of us are natural leaders. Okay, so 10%. And then there's another figure, 20% of the people possess enough leadership traits to become great leaders with training and guidance. Okay, so ibig sabihin, 10% pinanganak sila na natural leaders na. So innate na sa kanila yung pagiging leaders. And the other 20%, sila yung mayroong mga leadership traits na with proper training and proper guidance can be a great leader in the future. Okay, so now my question to you, to everyone who is watching, which group are you? Are you in the 10% natural born leaders, or are you in the 20% people who possess leadership traits? Okay, next slide, please. Now, so we're ending the talk na about leadership. So the question is, who can be a leader? I know you're asking this to me. You'll ask this to me. So who can be a leader? Siguro tinatanong niyo yung sarili niyo, pasok ba ako to be a leader, or am I qualified to be a leader also? Okay, so let's see the definition of a leader, or who can be a leader. So if you notice, combination na siya ng meaning ng leadership and effective leadership that we discussed earlier. Okay, so a leader is one with a set of skills and behavior that inspires others to grow in their abilities. Okay, so a leader can be everyone. It can also be you. Okay, and we believe in you. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so before I end this talk about the basics of leadership, I want you to do a self reflection. So reflect in your own free time, or you can reflect after this. Okay, so what will you start doing now to improve your leadership skills? Okay, can you go to the next slide, please? So that's my question to you, to everyone who's watching via Facebook Live. So I hope that you learned something from me. So from the basics of leadership, okay, from the different styles of leadership, and I hope that you realize that anyone, including you, can also be a leader. Okay, and to those who would like to connect with me or to reach out to me for further questions, or who'd like to invite me for other speaking engagement, you can connect with me. You can scan my QR code and you can message me there. Okay? Again, thank you so much, Hands in Inclusion Pilipinas, for this invite, and of course, to the viewers of our Facebook Live. Thank you, everyone.
All right, all right. And much needed another wow from Miss Christell Nogar. Thank you po so much. Sa mga nakasubaybay dyan, huwag tayong magsasawang lumaban sa buhay.
Tama ka dyan, Christian. Na-inspire naman ang mga ibinahagi natin ni Miss Christelle at tunay na nga napakasarap magibatan, malayang ihayag ang sarili, di ba? Kaya sa bawat isang nakasubaybay sa ating ngayon, kahit anong edad, antas o kapansanan ang meron tayo, padayon lang. Dahil at the end of the day, yung magiging success natin ang magiging motivation mga susunod sa atin.
Ayun, tama nga. And in terms of leadership nga eh. Leadership nga eh. So, we have to be so in the end, when you become leaders, you also become successful din. So, tama yan. So, we'll invite you guys to leave messages, likes, thumbs up, and hearts para maipakita ang pagpahalaga natin sa magagandang ibinahagi ng mga speakers natin.
Tama po kayo dyan. At sa mga sa ating sa Facebook Live, kung meron pa kayo katanungan to Miss Christelle, maaari po ninyo yung type sa ating thread ngayon mismo dahil tatanungin na natin si Ma'am Christelle ngayon, today, ngayon na. Okay.
Alright.
Pero bago yan, may mga pabati muna tayo. Yung bago tayo Christian muna, na ikaw muna kasi.
Alright, let's see. Master Marcelo, yeah, let's see who did that. Alright. Hello, Mr. Adriel Aragon, watching from Imus, Cavite. Was is here. Hello, everyone. Ayun, watching from on Mike Saysay High School. Hello po. Thank you, Miss Hazel. Vine Irish, thank you din. Watching from Manila High School. Hello po. Thank you for watching. GL Tumbokon. Sorry if I got it wrong. Good day watching din. Hello po. I hope you enjoy speakers. Yeah, ikaw naman, Nasher.
Hindi lang mga taga Manila High School ang nakinote sa ating. Meron pa mga taga Ramon Magsaysay High School po. Mabuhay po kayo lahat po and thank you for watching po.
Ayun. So, shall we proceed to the questions, Nasher?
Okay na.
Yun. So, hello TJ, this is your question po. Okay, sana po they allow you to read this, but I will read it for you also. What will you do or a way they will follow you without ordering them? How can you handle them or each people that surrounds you in a positive way? Ayun,
Okay. Thank you for that question, Timothy. Sorry. So I actually like this kind of person. So those persons who doesn't need to alam mo yun, like utusan para gumawa. I like people who takes initiative. Okay? So that's something that's actually I find it in a positive way. I don't find it in a negative way that it will bypass me as a leader because I love, as mentioned, I love people taking initiative. So in handling them, I just need to align with them. So I need to make sure that we are both in the same clear purpose, okay, and that we're also in the same set of priorities as I mentioned earlier. So in order for them to do what is right, of course I need to guide them. I need to give feedback as well in handling them. Okay? Thank you. I hope I answer your question, Timothy.
All right. The next question actually comes from me again. It's actually a two-parter, but then I had to. Then I don't think Facebook got the second one. The first part would be: should leaders also be design thinkers? I'm not sure if you're familiar with with design thinking. Pero I think you can answer that first. I have another one followed.
Sige. So my understanding of design thinkers is someone who has is essentially a problem solving approach. If we have the same definition, Christian. So a problem-solving approach, so which needs them to analyze problems and of course give solutions as well. So if your question is, should leaders also be design thinkers, I think yes. Okay, just to share with you, I finished my master's in business administration at the age of 23. Okay, and then after that I noticed to myself, like, in terms of decision making, in terms of analyzing problems, I was able to do it better than I can before nung hindi pa ako graduate. Okay, so I think that's also one of the learnings that I had from my MBA or from my graduate school. So that's something that I want also leaders to innate, okay, or to show na they need to also be design thinkers. Okay, not just, I don't know if it's also in creative part, but most importantly in decision making processes.
All right. So I think I have another follow-up question. I just typed it in the chat now. Yun, how should the leaders deliver criticism? So we've seen leaders
Christian,
try and accept criticism, yes, in a good way. But this time, how should they deliver criticism?
yes. Christian, I love this question because I really love criticism. I love feedback, especially if it's about me, because I don't take it negatively. Okay, I take it always positively. I always ask feedback from my team members on a regular basis. Okay, so like, what do you think should I improve? Okay, as a leader. Okay, so I always ask them that question, and by asking that, I know now for myself what to improve instead of just analyzing myself, because different pa rin what other people sees about you. That's why uh, I love criticism. I love receiving criticism. Now, to answer your question and on how should leaders deliver criticism, it's actually something, well, let's paraphrase it to constructive criticism. Okay, so something na kapag binigay mo, it will make that person a better one. Okay, so sa pag-deliver ng constructive criticism, we need to be, of course, we need to be personalized. Okay, so how do you think, ask yourself first, kapag binigay mo ba yung criticism na ito sa taong to, how would he or she feel? Okay, so if you know that that person is very naiiyak agad, di ba? Like very soft. Okay? So you should take it, you should paraphrase it to something positive. Okay? So if you think naman that that person is very accepting of criticisms, or very like me, like who loves criticism. Okay? So you can deliver it as it is. Okay? So I think I answered your question, Christian.
Yep, yes, you did. Yes, you
Thank
did.
you.
All right. So,
Okay, yun, sa akin na lang po, yung tanong ko, why is your first experience when it comes to thinking solution po?
What is the first experience when it comes to thinking
Your
solution?
sa inyong, sa inyong work po, in your work.
Mhm. Okay, so every time I encounter a problem as a leader, okay, so hindi ako yung ano yung solution, or I don't panic, diba? So in thinking a solution, you need to think first, what is the cause of that problem? Okay? So ano ba yung dahilan bakit nagkaroon ng ganung problem? And what are the possible solutions? Okay? Possible solutions meaning more than one. Okay, so I don't rely on one solution only. I have solution 1, I have solution 2, I have solution 3. In case the solution 1 hindi mag-work, I still have solution 2. And then if the solution 2 hindi mag-work, I still have solution 3, and so on. Okay? And then after that, di lang siya natapos sa pag-solve. Okay? After that, I reflect, and I take note para in the future, para if that problem won't happen again. I hope I
Right.
answer your question, Asher.
Okay. Okay po, thank you po, Miss Christell po.
All right,
Um,
let's
may mga
see.
question pa tayo. May mga question pa tayo before we proceed. May time pa ba?
Going once. Any more questions in the chat? Going once, going twice. Parang mukhang wala na ata. So
Parang
let's
wala na
proceed.
yata, okay na.